Welcome to We Learn IAS. Today we are going to deal with a topic from GS paper 3 which is relevant in Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization and the resources growth and the development. And the news article is don't ignore the service sector. So from this topic, from this headline, we can understand that there is an ignorance in the field of services sector. The main three sectors which contributing GDP into our economy. So it consists of the service sector which contribute around 53.89%. When we combine agriculture and industry, value is less than the contribution of services. So we have to put more importance to the service sector, but unfortunately service sector has a lot of ignorance from our government. So we are going to deal with that topic. Here in agriculture sector, it mainly contribute 20.19%, and in industry, the manufacturing field have more contribution, that is the 14.43%. When coming to the service sector, we can see that 22.05% alone coming from the financial, real estate and the professional services. So this is a main relevant topic or the relevant point we have to note. And service sector consists of the public administration, defense and other services which contribute 15.42%, and also the trade, hotels, transport, communication and the services related to broadcasting which contribute 16.42%. In industry, other than manufacturing, there is construction is there which have 7.16%, and also the less contribution is from the electricity, gas, water supply and other utility services. And so coming to a point, India is aspiring to become the 5 trillion economy, and also it predicted that by 2013 India will achieve 2 trillion economy. So India is in developing path, or we already know that India is in developing economy and developing country. So it is aspires that to become 5 trillion economy in future. And also they predicted that by 2030 India will achieve 2 trillion in the international trade growth. So which is equally contributed by the merchandise and the service sector. So in order to achieve this, 5 trillion economy, we have to concentrate both. We have to equally concentrate in the merchandise and as well as the service sector, because these two contributed togetherly or equally in our Indian economy. And the next part is the status of services and the manufacturing sector. So here our service sector, which is contributing over 50%, means more than over 50% than the contribution of both agriculture and manufacturing. And also our last financial year in 2021-2022, it was an astounding success as the manufacturing and the merchandise exports had crossed 400 million rupees. Manufacturing if we consider both the manufacturing and the merchandise export, where it took $400 billion for the export, and also we took 600 billion for the import. So in case of export of the manufacture and merchandise, it took 400 billion and also 600 billion for the import. So now we can identify that it gave lots of trade deficit. So we got around $200 billion trade deficit we had from the manufacture and the merchant, as well as the service exports had exceeded 254 billion, which was an increase of over 20% year on year. So we are getting surplus from the service sector. Unfortunately, government is more focusing on the manufacturing and merchandise exports, or in the service sector, or in the manufacturing mean sector. But we are getting more and more trade deficit from that particular area also, and also the surplus is getting from the service part. Here, the status of service is the second part, where we can see that India's merchandise and the manufacturing import were 600 billion. We just told that it will give $200 billion trade deficit, around $200 billion. And also here we can say that the service sector, it will give 100 million more than the service imports, means the export of the service is 254 billion, so it will give 100 million more than the service imports. And also the 50 percentage is contributing from the 50 percentage or more service exports are contributed by the IT and ITES. So this is the major source of our surplus, IT and ITES. ITES means the information technology enabled service, and also the rest of contribution. So major services, major contribution from service is from the ITES, and the rest of contribution is mainly from the management and legal, accounting, logistics, travel and tourism, education, as well as the healthcare. So all these consists of the status of the services. And coming to the next point, issues with the service sector. So in issues with the service sector, we can see that the incentives. Okay, the first issue is the incentive. So government is giving much more incentives to the manufacturing and the merchandise sector, and we also know that the trade deficit is more in the manufacturing and the merchandise sector, and also the surplus is getting more in service sector. But then too, service sector is getting less incentives. And also there is a perception that the service sector including IT sector has flourished due to minimum government interventions. Actually, it's a fact that government had minimum government interventions in the service sector, and also the IT sector is flourished without the government support. But it doesn't mean that they didn't need the support of the government, but they need the promotion, or that they need the incentives for the future programs or the development, because India aspires to become the 5 trillion economy in future. And also it said that by 2030 India will achieve 2 trillion economy. So it is important to consider the service sector too from in our government interventions. And also the service sector as a whole does not require any hand-holding support of the government. So it is a point that it doesn't mean that service sector need the complete support, means the hand-holding support, means without government interventions the service sector will destroy. It's not like that. They just need the minimum government interventions. And also now coming to the next point, why does India need to focus on service exports? So we already told that there is a trade deficit in the merchandise exports imports, and also this year this is widening. Why? Because of the rising crude prices. So because of the impact of due to the impact of the rising crude prices, the deficit in the merchandise exports and imports is in widening. And also there is a huge imbalance in the incentives, means the MEIS, means the merchandise exports incentive scheme, which is getting more intensive than the service exports incentive scheme even during the COVID restrictions. We know what is COVID restrictions, means the lockdowns, work from home. Even the service sector also affected lots of, means they are also badly affected with lots of issues because of the COVID restrictions. So in that time too, the government is providing more incentives to the MEIS rather than the SEIS. And why does India need to focus on service exports? So why India need to focus on service export? The reason is these incentives serves to make business internationally competitive. If India pay attention to the service exports, then it will increase the surplus. Now we have around 100 million more than the means now we have means the export is 254 billion and the 100 million more than the service imports. So now we have the surplus. If India is getting putting more attention in the service exports, it will leads to internationally competitive standard, as well as recognizes the contributions made by the service providers. So what should be done to improve the service sector? Service sectors beyond the IT. So we just told that 50%, more than 50% is contributing from the ITES. And also other service sectors are the hospitality, healthcare and education. And we know India, it's a unique place, India. So in South India, in North India, Central India, Northeast, so all the places have different geographical characters. So if we promote the tourism, it will leads to our economic growth. So we can consider the international tourism, and also the hospitality, healthcare. If following the Ayurveda system, Unani, Siddha, lots of medical varieties are there in India, so we can focus on that. And also the education means aspirants or students will go to London for the education purpose, and also if we promote our institutions or the colleges, universities, then the foreigners will come here to study. Then it will promote the export and import services of the import services. So it will directly leading to our economic growth. And also the government should aim to quadruple the service exports over the next 7 to 8 years. So there should be a strategic roadmap. So government have to follow a strategic roadmap, then we will achieve a quadruple services exports over the next 7 to 8 years. So in addition, the government should embark on a cash program to enhance the infrastructure, and for that is the PPP model. PPP means what? The public private partnership model. So by using the PPP models, we can build the airports, highways, and also we can improve the physical connectivity. Then it will directly influence the productions and also the services, everything. It will be easier with these programs. And also individual entrepreneurship is important. It is to increase the hospitality quotient by adding more hotel rooms. So and also government should provide attractive incentives. Means attractive incentives mainly include the direct taxation for greenfield projects in the service sectors, especially in the hotels, hospitals and university constructions, or for all the buildings, and also for the maintenance of the universities, hospitals and hotels. And the government can bring scheme for the service sector on the lines of production linked incentive schemes. So this is a very good aspect. Then we can increase the opportunity or the utilization of the service sector. So it is mainly in the areas like hospitality, education and the healthcare. And also it will ensure the capex investment. So it will result in the increased productivity and avenues for the employment opportunity. So if we contribute more in a service sector, so it will also increase the employment opportunity. And also India has a major economy. India's reliance should be on multiple sectors, including manufacturing and services. So this is the end of today's discussion. I hope you all got it, and thank you.